Hello, Oilers fans. Austin here. And yes, I'm back making a video in the middle of July. I took a bit of a break. I just was on a camping trip. News had slowed down after the chaos that was draft week and free agent week, and things slowed down just in general in the hockey world. So obviously haven't been a whole lot of news stories for me to break or talk about until this morning. Jeff Jackson continues to run the show as general manager of the Oilers. He's made another trade. He traded Edmonton's first round pick from 2021, Xavier Bourgault, to the Ottawa Senators for Roby, Jarventie, and a 2025 fourth round pick. Now, at first glance, I woke up this morning, I was all groggy. I'm looking at my phone. I'm like, okay, I don't know how I feel about this trade. However, once things kind of set in and I realized who the Oilers actually picked up, Jarventie is a really, really good player, really high upside, top six winger potential here, really close to NHL-ready. The only thing with Jarventie that is holding him back right now is injuries. Knee injury that has plagued him for a couple of seasons now. I think back in February, he had surgery on his knee. However, if he is able to be 100% healthy, he is a very, very good player, very skilled player. He's terrific shot, really good offensive instincts too. It's like he always knows where he's supposed to be in the offensive zone. And obviously, Oilers fans probably a little disappointed this morning knowing that Xavier Bourgault has been traded, not because there were a lot of fans that I think loved Bourgault. Obviously, we were all rooting for him, but his development seemed like it was kind of stalling in the AHL, and of course, the Oilers traded down to grab him instead of taking Jesper Wallstedt in the 2021 NHL entry draft, and there was a lot of discourse surrounding that. A lot of fans watching, I'm sure, remember that day very clearly. A lot of Oilers fans, they knew they needed a goaltender in the system to develop. They did not take Wallstedt. They actually traded down to grab Bourgault instead. So, the fact that Xavier Bourgault didn't work out, just an extra little kick to the stomach as an Oilers fan, because a lot of us knew that initial trade and that initial draft pick was not the right decision at the time. If they had Jesper Wallstedt in their system right now, very close to NHL ready as well, someone that can push Stuart Skinner, that would have been great. However, we can't reflect on what was or could have been. We're going to reflect on what is going on right now. And Roby Jarventie, really good player. And then, of course, Jake Chiasson also traded from the Oilers to Ottawa, and they get a fourth round pick. Chiasson, he was a fourth rounder, I think, in 2021. Another player whose development just hasn't, it's tough, right? Fourth rounders, they're not really seen as, NHL potential picks usually. So you can almost say that Chiasson and that fourth round pick from Ottawa, that's just a redo pick. The Oilers can take another crack at a fourth rounder this year coming up in the draft in 2025. But overall, Jarventie, good player. We'll kind of go over some of the stats here. Xavier Bourgault, his first year in Bakersfield, first year pro, he had 34 points in 62 games, which was pretty good. You're like, okay, no, that tracks. A really good offensive player, good playmaker, good goal scorer. But this year, a bit of injuries hampered him. And yeah, development kind of stalled. 8 goals, 20 points in 55 games with Bakersfield. Not really close to NHL ready, in my opinion. However, Roby Jarventie, he is very close to NHL ready. He actually has some NHL experience. He played 7 games last season for the Ottawa Senators. He only had 1 point, and he had a -5 rating. Obviously, just looking at first glance, some of these, just the raw stats here, I don't have a lot of advanced data on Jarventie, so I can't go over that. I can only show what we know, and with Belleville Senators in the AHL, he had 20 points in 22 games. The year before, he had 30 points in 40 games. So this is a player that does produce at the AHL level, and it remains to be seen if he can produce at the NHL level. Of course, the Oilers are pretty stacked with forwards right now at the NHL level, and someone like Jarventie, his skill set is definitely top 6 potential, top 9 at minimum, and I just don't think there's going to be room for him at the NHL level this season. However, extra trade chip if the Oilers want to use him in another deal, if you want to package him or get someone else, or you can let him try and play a full season in the AHL, really develop, and then, of course, after this season going into next year, the Oilers are going to be losing guys like Jeff Skinner, assuming that he doesn't re-sign with Edmonton because he's on that 1-year deal. And we'll see how Dylan Holloway's development goes and if he's able to continue to crack that NHL roster and be a regular player every night for Edmonton. But Jarventie, nothing wrong with this player at all, in my opinion, or nothing wrong with the trade to acquire him. I like Jarventie a lot. He was with Finland at the World Juniors in 2022. Of course, Team Canada won that game in overtime 3-2 in the gold medal. And so he has a silver medal. Oh my God. It's been a while since I made a video, you can tell. Overall though, like I said, I like this trade a lot for Edmonton. I think it's a good trade. Now, if anyone has seen Jarventie play a lot more than I have, I'm not super familiar with him. Just going based on things that I've seen from a couple of years ago, World Juniors, a bit of Belleville Senators play. Let me know what your thoughts on Jarventie are, and let me know your thoughts on Xavier Bourgault as well. I'm not super in tune with the Bakersfield Condors. I don't watch them regularly. I do tune in when I can, but there's usually so much other hockey going on that I just don't tune in. So if someone is very familiar with Xavier Bourgault, do you think a change of scenery for him will be a good thing? Do you think he will be able to crack an NHL roster one day? I want to know all of your thoughts in the comments section below. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're all having a wonderful summer. And if there's any more news, of course, this is the place to be. So make sure you hit like, make sure you hit subscribe, and tell someone that you love them. Appreciate all of you. We'll see you in the next one.